Test. Test. 1, 2, 3. Test. Well, yes. So tell me about
Ellis Island?
Ellis Island.
Should I tell you how we got to America?
Yeah.
See, my father left years ago in Europe. A man that had 6, 7 children, and he was a Hebrew teacher. He couldn't make a living from that.
Mm-hmm.
So America was the country where the money's in the streets.
Okay. Go ahead.
But we were small. I don't remember him when he left. But when you came to America, you were very disappointed. You couldn't even get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And from the Hebrew teacher, he had a brother that it took him up to be a presser. Years ago, they used to press by hand coal stove. Not like now they have electric iron to iron clothes.
Uh-huh.
So I did it by hand, and it worked very, very hard. He wasn't used to work like that. And the war broke out.
Which, World War I?
World War I, and he couldn't send money and letters to us. Then when we had a little house, and it was right near the German border, and we had to run away from there. The war was coming close to us.
Uh-huh.
Run away during the night. My brother Harry and myself, we were small, we couldn't walk, we couldn't get transportation. And they walked, we left everything, the clothes, and just what you could carry on your back, my sister,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother, my brothers.
Why'd you have to run away?
The war was coming too close to us.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Gentiles weren't very nice to the Jewish people, as many as it was. There wasn't too many.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to run away and left everything. The house we left and the clothes and the things. So we went away to a big city where my older brother went to yeshiva there.
Which city? Warsaw?
Lumsden. It's Poland. Lumsden. It's near Warsaw, a couple of miles away from there.
Mm-hmm.
And there we stayed there. And then we got an apartment. And we didn't, my father, at that time they couldn't send money from America here to
Mm-hmm.
Europe.
Mm-hmm. Because of the war?
Huh?
Because of the war?
Of the war. It detained everything. So finally, took a couple of years. The war was there, and we had to be hiding out. We were in the synagogues, laying on the floor
Mm-hmm.
for days. We were afraid to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And one girl went out for a drink of water. They had like a well.
Mm-hmm.
And she went out and she got killed.
Hmm.
So we were laying without food, and the kids, we were looking for a piece of dry bread underneath the benches that we could find. After a couple of years, the war subsided, and my father started to write to us, and I don't think he had enough money, but he borrowed money, sent us money, and we made our tickets to go to America.
Mm-hmm.
My older sister was the one that she did everything. She went to Warsaw for a visa and everything. And then after a few months, we got ready to go. It took so long to get there, and we stopped in Antwerp for a couple of weeks, laying in those community houses where all the people came to go to America. They kept them in those big apartments, like they keep here now, the people in big houses together. And we got to Ellis Island. Finally, it took 10 days on the boat.
From Antwerp to
New York, till we saw the Statue of Liberty.
What was the boat ride? What was the 10 days on the boat like?
Very bad. We were very sick, nauseous, couldn't eat, was throwing up. Mm-hmm. Very bad. It was a big ship.
What was it, an American boat or
I think
Dutch
it was
boat?
American. I think it was American. I really don't remember the name.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came to Ellis Island, we were detained. Not all of us. My father came first, so he took my sister, my 2 sisters, and my brothers, and myself. And my younger brother remained with my mother there because of a nail. She had a black nail.
Mm-hmm.
She had a bad finger, but the nail was dried out, and that's how she had it for years.
Right.
And they detained her in Ellis Island for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And we felt very bad about it.
But they finally
They
let
finally let her go, and they gave her injections. She fainted because it couldn't do nothing. It was a nail that it wasn't a contagious or something.
Mm.
You know, a black nail. The nail got black and rough. So after 2-3 weeks, they let her go. But it was funny in Ellis Island when the way they asked questions, people.
Mm.
You know, they wanted to catch you, and some of them that they weren't so. They didn't answer the right questions. They thought they were a little goofy, nuts, you know. They were a little bit. There's some friend of ours that she came, and she was very, you know, she was really disturbed by coming here and by leaving the country there and left her mother there.
Mm-hmm.
And she got a little nervous, and they sent her back. And the children, the 2 children, that remained here with the father.
Hmm. What kind of questions they have? Just normal
they
questions?
They questions. How do you make a stove from butter? Would you know?
I think you told me this when you
I
trade.
told you trade the butter. You have money. You buy a stove. And lots of who could remember? Lots of questions that. You know, they sounded silly, but they wanted an answer for that.
Right.
And what do you call it? After that, but here my sisters, my brother, after a couple of years, they got married.
Mm. You were the youngest one.
And I got married. Then divorced. The second word. Then one of my brother, the older one, remained in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
He was married, and by the time the war broke out, he had 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
And we sent for his 2 older sons. They went to Yeshiva College over there, and we were supposed to bring him over through Japan, but Japan went to war with America, and we couldn't take him over.
1941.
Yeah, through Cook's company. There's a big company. They were supposed to bring them here. So they, after we came, my father felt so sad that we couldn't bring him here. And then we got a letter to the head of the yeshiva where all the children went in Lumze. That's the name of the city.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lumze.
Lumze.
How do you spell it?
Lomze. Lumze.
Okay.
It's near a couple of miles from Warsaw.
Uh-huh.
It was a big city. So when Hitler came into war, that was already the second war. Hitler came into war. So my brother was going. It was holiday, New Year's. So he went to synagogue.
Mm-hmm.
So they caught him on the way, and they beat him, and they hit him. A man came from Europe, so he told us that.
Oh, he was there at the time.
Yeah, he was there, and then the yeshiva had 300 boys. My brother's 3 boys, and all others. So my brother had some money, so he gave them. The head of the yeshiva should take him over. He took him to Vilna.
Mm-hmm.
Vilna is a city, and they killed them, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they killed my brother, my sister-in-law, and they killed Daddy's 2 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband and 2 brothers. Shirley's mother, Shirley's father, and Shirley's 2 brothers. And Daddy, I would like to show you the picture. Daddy had a brother. He was a half his size, blonde and tall. He looked like a German.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a long time they didn't touch him because they thought it was German. When the Warsaw Ghetto broke out, so naturally he couldn't see. He went in to help, and they killed him too. And he had a time. He had a little child, a little girl about 6 months old. They killed them all.
But Shirley and
Shirley
survived, right?
Shirley, they didn't know each other. He was in a different city. His city was 7,000 people. Nobody remained.
Mm-hmm.
So he and that another fellow, a friend of his, they were on the train. They were going to take him to the slaughterhouse. So they jumped out while the train was running through the window, not a window, over the door. There's an opening.
Mm-hmm.
That window opens out, and they jumped out.
Shmulak
and his friend. And they were hiding out in the woods. And they met Shirley there.
In the woods?
In the woods. And Shirley's brothers were there too.
Shirley had run away.
Shirley had run away with the mother ran. Here the father ran. They didn't know, but they killed the mother and father. And the two brothers hide themselves in the woods there where Shmulek was. A lot of partisans. They tried to save their lives. They had a lake there, so when they heard marching soldiers, they went in the water and they stayed under the water. They shouldn't know that they're there. So Shirley was a young 14, 15 years. She was a beautiful blonde girl, so there were two Gentiles. And they started out with her.
Two of the partisans?
Partisans, and actually the brothers didn't like it. So he started out with them and told them off, so they killed them both. So that's why I didn't know why Shmulek always used to tell us when we used to come to California that it's Shirley's fault that they killed her brothers, the two brothers. And I didn't know why. So finally, Shirley told us that that's the reason, because they started out with her and the brothers protect her from them.
When you say partisans, those were people who were against the Germans, right?
Who were against the Germans, and you see they're murderers too.
Wow.
I'll tell you, the Polish people themselves, they weren't any good to the Jews. In fact, they helped the Germans to kill the Jewish people. They used to take them over to places where they were hiding out and show them where they are. They weren't nice at all. Sometimes now, I think what the Russians do to them, I don't wish them any bad, but I don't feel sorry for them because what they did to all the Jewish people. Papa, when he went to Hebrew, on the way to Hebrew, he was a little small boy, they used to attack him, with him and his friend.
Well, did you have any friends? Were any of your friends Polish when you lived there?
Yeah, where we lived in that town where we had them, some of them were nice to us. But my mother had a very bad incident with one Polak, with one goy. In Europe, on the fields, you grow in the wintertime. You don't plant in the summertime. Like you raise
winter wheat,
potatoes and everything. But they didn't have refrigeration like now they have. Even here they had. When we came to this country, we had a refrigerator.
Right.
We had to buy ice and put in there. After so many years, I met the iceman. He recognized me, Mama. I was going from Daddy from the hospital. He recognized me.
Oh, the iceman from Brooklyn?
From Brooklyn, yeah. He's the iceman, we used to call him. His father owned it, but he used to bring up the ice. So what was I telling you?
You said you had your mother had bad experience.
So my mother, she had some workers. They dig the potatoes out, and then you put them in the ground in a grave and that keeps it cool and good enough till the summertime. So one of the Gentile men said my mother stole the potatoes by him, and during the night they came and threw stones in the windows, and they broke the windows, and there was a trial. My poor mother, she had so much trouble. She had to go to a different city for the trial.
But they put your mother. They put your mother on trial, or they put the people who threw the rocks on trial.
My mother put them on trial.
Okay.
He had no right to could have killed us with the rocks. Yeah. And first of all, my mother would go steal potatoes.
Right.
If she would see diamonds there, she wouldn't even go.
Right.
So there was a trial, and we went through a lot.
So did they get convicted?
They acquitted her. They got convicted, yeah. But they didn't get much,